Alright, hey guys, it's Spitfire again. Sorry I've been gone for about a month. I've been busy away. So, first off, I'd like to thank all the people that have subscribed. I've like doubled my subscribers since last September, so in the course of about 3 to 4 months, I doubled my subscribers, so that's awesome. Keep subscribing, keep liking. And before I get going here, check out all my other videos when you're done watching this one. I got a bunch of other ones. Got a bunch more coming. I got a bunch of gunsmith ones. I'm gonna do some barrels and stuff, and I don't know, whatever, random stuff. My channel, I got several topics I got going on, but I mainly focus on guns and cars and a few other things. So once again, thanks guys, I appreciate it. So today, what we're gonna do is go over. I got myself a new Phase II quick change tool post for my 11-inch Logan Lathe. And what I'm going to do here is just go over, I'm going to crack her out of the box here, open it up, have you guys see what it looks like when you get it. Just kind of go over the procedure of getting it on my lathe and what it takes to get it on there. So let's get started. Alright, so here's my billing invoice from I got this from usenco.com. I know they sell a whole bunch of crap, but here's the part number, 251-111, and then here's Enco's number. So I don't know if you can just search it up too, quick change tool post, and it'll bring up what you need. Alright, so let's crack this guy open. Get my knife here. It comes in this little box. Phase II, quick change. Probably can't see it, but nothing super fantastic about it. That's a label from Enco, shipping stuff. So I've been wanting, first off I apologize for the background noise. I got some stuff going in the washer here, so I've been wanting one of these for quite a while, and I finally bit the bullet here a few days ago, and this shipped really quick. It was only like a couple days it took to get shipped to me. Actually 2 days to be exact, two or 3 days, whatever it was. There's one as of January of 2015. It was $185, and they had a deal going for free shipping. So that's not too bad. So here's the actual tool post, and I'm gonna get a grab paper towel here. And the reason I went with the Phase II is because I did a lot of research, and a lot of the guys say for the money the Phase IIs are pretty good. If I had a $10,000 lathe, I would probably go out and buy an Aloris or a Dorian, but from everything I read, these seem to be pretty good. And there she be, Phase II quick change, stock number 25111. So I can already see that my big nut here, or my T-nut, is going to need to be milled. I kind of figured that. So I'll just set that right there for a second. Here's my knob job. Stick that in there, just for the hell of it, because it looks nice. And there's little flats on here that you can tighten this down with a wrench. So I'll just do that right now. Got a wrench handy. Give it a little crank. That'll be good. So here we go. And I got the wedge style. Everything I've read, everybody that talks about them says the wedges are the best, so, or better. I don't know if they're the best, but everybody likes the wedge style more so than the piston style. So there's my tool post. Cool. Kind of exciting. There's instructions on all these boxes too if you're not sure how to put stuff together. Just gonna throw all this crap off to the side. And all these guys are, if I can get them open, the different tool holders. There's a knurler and another holder, and more instructions. Oop, sorry, getting a little excited here. Boring bar holder. crap out of the way. And just a standard tool bit holder. I was reading somewhere online that actually some guy got I think it was a Bow Star or something, which is probably the same damn thing as this, but they just put a different name on it. He said they were packed with grease. These aren't really packed in grease. There's a little light grease on there, but they're actually fairly clean, which is nice. More instructions. A pile of instructions. And last but not least here is our parting tool holder. So there we go. 6-piece kit. I'm going to order some more of these guys because, you know, you never have enough of these. I heard one guy online say that these set screws are garbage, so I'll test those out and see if that's true or not. That guy that referenced that was a machinist. I mean, he does machining for a living, so we'll check that out. But so this thing should be ready to go other than a little cleaning, but this is the guy we're going to have to worry about here. So let's take this over to my lathe and see where we're at. Alright, so here is my setup now. I hate this thing. It works. It's done its purpose for probably about 60-70 years, but time for this guy to go away. Probably won't completely go away, but for the most part. What you can do if you're getting your dimensions is you can take this T-nut and get your width and your thickness. That'll give you a good idea. But as you can see, we're quite a bit. I'm gonna get out of your light here. We're wider and we're deeper. And that just ain't going to work the way it is right now. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to machine this guy. If you don't, I've got a little mini mill, and it's actually a really nice mill. My little mill that I'll be showing you here, new, they're about $3,000. So the price of a good used full-size Bridgeport, you know, if you can find a deal on one, or a Chinese-made one. Bridgeports are probably a little more than 3,000, but this little mill I got here is a pretty good little machine. So we'll get some measurements here, and we'll probably start milling. So first thing I'm going to do to get my measurements here, I gotta clean this guy out. Get all of it. It's actually fairly clean, but I got a few little chips and stuff in there. And this one's kind of nice because I don't know how most lathes are, but I just noticed this at this exact second. I got little raised ends here, so this has been milled out deeper than my sides here. So I got little rails on each side here, which is kind of cool. Also, what happens on some of these lathes is this T, you can't see it here, but underneath here, it's not square down here. It's been kind of chipped out, but I got quite a bit of material back in there. That's a common problem with these things. Sometimes people have to replace them due to that. So let's get a marker and a piece of paper, whatever, and I'll write down our dimensions. Alright, so remember a second ago when I was talking about, so here's our T-nut, or here's our T in our cross slide. My lathe, and it's not too bad on mine, has some chunks like that missing out of it. That's because somebody didn't have a tool post in there tight enough, or whatever the deal is, but I still got quite a bit of material back here that's still in really good shape. So this is hopefully what yours looks like. So what we do here, not too difficult. You're going to want to leave, we'll take our old one here. Wipe it off. We'll take our old one and measure it and see see where we're at with it, because that'll give us an idea of what our new one should be close to. There's my calipers. So let's see. So it's, I measure it like this, and this one is different from side to side, which is no surprise. 1.414 and 1.437. So I'm going to say 1.437 is our width. Or sorry, our that'd be our width. And then our thickness, 293, 295, 288, 288. So we'll say 295, 0.295 thickness. So that'll be this thickness. And then, being that this guy is thicker, we're going to machine this T in there. So I got to come up here and measure this, and there are better ways of doing this, but this will get us pretty dang close. 1.008. And of course, I'm sure that'll be different. No, 1.002. Let me look over here. 1.010. This should be dead on. 0.990. 0.99. Alright, so then we go and measure our actual width here. 1.460. 1.450. So yeah, 1.437. So that was pretty dang close. 1.450. And it's tough. I don't have the right tool to measure inside the middle here, so we're gonna call it 1.450. And 315. 311. 317. 317. So we'll go with 311 because that was our least. And then what do we got? One more here. Did I do that one? That was 1 inch. 450. Yep. Alright. So there we go. There's our 3 measurements we're going to need. 1.450, that's from here to here. 311, that's the height. And then 100 thousandths, that's this measurement here. And then I'm not sure, I didn't measure this plate that came with it, but I'm sure that'll end up in here somewhere. It'd be great if it went like right up to about there, but it's not really necessary. With all this support down here, I don't really, that's just redundant there. So let's measure it up and stick her on the mill here. If you don't have access to your own mill, one thing you could do is there's usually machinists around that'll machine these out for you. You just get your measurements. You can get your exact measurements off your cross or your compound, and then you can subtract however much you want, 5 thousandths or 7 thousandths on each side, and subtract that, give it to your machinist, and they should be able to machine this guy out for you. It might cost you a few bucks, but they're going to do a really nice job. And one thing to do if you're having somebody else machine it, you might want to machine it a little bit. You don't want to have them machine too much off, because if it's too sloppy, you can't put metal back on there. So you can have them cut it a little large, you know, maybe a couple thousandths larger than you think you'll need it, and then you can always like come back with a hand file and file these edges off. So I'll get cutting here. I'll show you a little bit, and then I'm sure this will take me a good hour or so to get this guy done on my little mill here, but we'll get her cut up and we'll stick her in my lathe and see how well it works. So let's get rolling. Alright, so I changed my mind. I'm going to do the ends first just to get it all down to the correct width, and then I'll do my T-slots, because then I don't have to worry about calculating a bunch of extra crap. I have it set up in my mill here on end, so what I figured is I'm going to cut 197.5 thousandths off of each side. So I got this side set up, and then I'll have to flop it around and refigure, or if I can find a shim make a shim that's 197 thousandths, that'd be even better. Then I can stack this on top. But I got it set in there. I'm just going to mill away here. I had to go down to a smaller mill bit and shove it way up in my collet because of my large apparatus here. But we'll get cutting here. I'll grab some cutting oil and we'll go to town here. I'll probably have to slow my mill down a little bit, but make sure we're not locked in. And I'll just take a light cut here and see. And it seems to be cutting pretty good. I don't go very fast with this guy because it's a little lathe, little mill. But I'll get rolling here. I'll cut quite a bit, and then I'll show you guys. Alright, so there I got my first side shaved down, and I see now, it's been a while since I've used this thing, but my head is just ever so slightly out of tram. That's maybe I don't know, 1/10,000th of an inch there, but I mean all across here it's pretty damn flat, so I could have took a couple passes back over there and cleaned that up, but I don't really care. It's just great the way it is. That's the only bad thing about a little machine like this is you can only work so much material. I mean this machine isn't set up to do heavy stuff. So one other thing I forgot to mention, besides a machinist, if you have a local gunsmith in your area, they should be able to take care of this for you too. Most gunsmiths have a big milling machine or a little milling machine, whatever. But if you're a gunsmith and you're doing this for somebody else, you probably want them to have a big machine. Otherwise, it's going to take them too damn long, and they're going to charge you too much. One other option, if you have it, milling attachment for your lathe, that'd be even better. That's easy enough to do on your lathe. Just get yourself an end mill, and if you got a collet attachment, that's even better. It's basically the same thing as a mill like this. So what I'll do now is I'll flop this guy around, cut the other side, and then we'll get to the T-cuts. I won't show you that, I'll just flip it around and cut it, and then I'll show you the next step here. Alright, so I cut my width of this guy down, and I got it set up now. I measured over, and I'm cutting my T-slot out. I'm going to do this side, and then I'll cut this side. Like I said, my little mill, I don't go very fast with it, so it took me about 2 hours to get this where I want it, and I went back and cut it down once because I wanted it a little narrow than it was. I dialed this guy in with an indicator off the base of my mill here, so I'm in 224 thousandths, and I'm deep 175 thousandths on my plate here. So when I cut this side and then I cut the opposite side here, hopefully we'll test fit it in my lathe, and hopefully it'll fit right in there. I'm going to finish cutting this guy. It's pretty boring watching me cut this because it takes so long and it's slow, but I'll finish cutting this. I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll see if it fits. Alright, we're done cutting our T-nut, and here it is. Turned out pretty good. I had one little mess up there, but my piece was not down on my block all the way when I started cutting, and I realized halfway through, but my ends are good, so I got maybe a couple thousandths there that I got my bit cut. But anyways, there's our T-nut, or our new now T-nut. You can see it there. It's a T. Now let's turn around. It's a T. Anyways, let's take this baby over to lathe and hook it up. Alrighty, so we got our T-nut, and let's check it out, see how it fits here. And slides pretty good in there, and there's like very minimal wiggle that way, very minimal, if not any, wiggle that way. So we did a pretty good job there, and I got it so it fits. I got a little tiny wiggle that way, so I got it so it fits basically both ways, but since that side's tighter for some reason, we'll stick with that. Alright, where's our post? The moment of truth. Da 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 da. Alright. Get my hand out of the way here in a second. So this guy is the Phase II AXA. And I'm going to loosen that up just a little bit so I can slide it. So this is a Phase II AXA model. I have an 11-inch lathe here, and by the looks of it, this guy's going to be pretty dang close to where I need it to be, hopefully. Well, it has to be because I can't get a bigger one. So let's just check it here. So that's pretty cool. Alright, let's see if we get it where we want it. It's just, I got this, my compound set up for threading here. I don't have, not sure what size of wrench this guy is, but we'll just grab a little crescent, crank her down. Sweet! Look at that! That's freaking awesome. Friggin' neat. Yeah, friggin' sweet. So I've been wanting one of these forever, and a day ago. Let me move my camera back just a little bit here so I can crank my guy in here. Like I said, if you're thinking about doing that T-nut by hand, because trust me, I've thought about it, and oh boy, I spent about 3 hours on my little mini mill milling it, just because, like I said, it's a mini mill and it can't take big hunks out. If I had a big mill, I could have whipped this guy out in half hour, 45 minutes with my measuring, checking, cutting, double checking, because when you're doing precision work and you want this guy to be pretty precise, because it's going to be, you know, on your lathe, and it's a very integral part of what you're doing here, you want to get it as close as you can to fit inside your little T-slot here. So to get, you know, you can take all the measurements in the world you want, but it seems like no matter what, how many measurements, how good of measurements you take, you always got to fit it. And so I went back, I don't know, about 3 times. I cut it, I checked it, you know, I was a thou or two off where I wanted to be, and then I came back after I cut it and checked it, and, you know, I was dead on. So, like I said, 3 or 4 times, trial and error. Let's grab a bit. This is just a blank bit. So take your time when you're getting this guy in, and if you can, have a machinist do it, or machine it out yourself, because you're going to be way happier with the results that you get from a machined piece versus trying to do it by hand. I don't even know how that, it'd take you forever to do it by hand. So unless you're like an old retired guy with nothing better to do, you know, maybe you want to spend a week whittling away at that thing, that'd be alright, I guess. So what I'm doing now is I'm just checking this out, because I want to kind of see. I'm going to crank over. Actually, let's bring our tailstock up in here and see kind of where I'm at. And this is, you know, this is just for my own for my own, I don't know what you want to say, for the hell of it. Lock this guy down a little. One of these days I'm going to make a quick chain, or a quick tie down for my tailstock. But another day. So all I'm doing here is kind of checking where my center line is and seeing about exactly. The nice thing about these is you can stick them in place, tighten that down, tighten this guy down, of course with a wrench, and there I'm right on center. So how cool is that? Then I got that guy, granted that's just a blank, but got that guy set up and come in here next time, pa-chow! Granted it's not tight, but ready to roll! So, and then we're dead on center again. So there you go, guys. The Phase II quick change tool post. For the money, I think it's going to be pretty sweet. I don't have $700 or $800 to spend on a Loris or a Dorian, so this is pretty cool. I'll check it out and see how it works, see how I like it. Maybe make another video here in a while and let you know how it did. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing there, but so yeah, sweet, quick change. We can go this way if we want to. So yeah, pumped. If you can't tell, I'm excited. A little slop there, but I don't know if the Loris or the other ones are like that, but I guess you get her tight, it ain't going nowhere, so I gotta get some more of these guys because those would be nice to have. Other than that, there you go. That's if you're gonna have somebody machine this, I don't know, it might cost you $50 to $100 to have them machine that. Probably not, maybe $50, $75 to machine that little T-nut, but it's well worth it. Like I said, you can have them do it oversized a little bit, and then you can always file it down by hand. You can fit it. That'd probably be the best way to do it if you're going to have somebody do it, because you hate to have them undercut and be too loose. Some people might not care, but I do. So there you go. Alright, so that was our quick change tool post install and kind of semi-half-ass review. Not really, but I haven't had a chance to really play with them yet. Hopefully I will in the next couple weeks here. What I plan on doing here in the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, I got a 6mm barrel coming from Excalibur Barrels. They're a new company out of Kalispell, Montana. I've never used their barrels. I've shot, Harts, Kriegers, Liljas, Rock Creek, and all those good guys, Douglas, a bunch of other ones, but I'm going to get this barrel from Excalibur and chamber it in a 6BR. I'm going to do that on mono in 1917 Enfield actions. So I'll go through, I might actually do a series of videos on putting that whole rifle together, minus the action, because I already did all the action work on it. So, barrel, thread chamber, muzzle, maybe contour, I don't know. It's a straight 1.25 inches, so not really contour, but so those things. And I got a stock for it too. I got a cool, it's got some figure in it, kind of a semi-bench rest varmint stock that I might throw it in. So I might do some videos on that too. So yeah, once again, if you guys like my videos, please subscribe, like them, comment. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'm usually available to answer whatever you guys want to know. And yeah, till next time, take her easy. Shoot often if you shoot, and be safe on your lays and tools. Have fun. See you guys later. Thanks.